Sometimes you have to cover a story that's just truly heartbreaking. And today is one of those days. We're taking a moment to remember a true icon in the world of motorsports, Greg Biffle, after his sudden and tragic passing. The news just sent absolute shockwaves through the entire racing community. And look, this wasn't just the loss of a driver. It was the loss of an entire family and some very dear friends. It's a void in the heart of NASCAR that's, well, it's going to be felt for a long, long time. So, to really understand the full weight of this loss, we first need to look at the facts of what we know about that tragic day. Okay, so on the morning of December 18th, a private jet took off from Statesville, North Carolina. But almost immediately, something went terribly, terribly wrong. The pilots tried to turn back to get back to the airport, but tragically, the aircraft crashed on its return, and it resulted in a devastating fireball on impact. In that one single, horrifying moment, 7 lives were lost. It's just a number on a screen, but it represents such an immense and heartbreaking scale of loss, it's almost impossible to really wrap your head around it. The victims included Greg Biffle, his wife Cristina, and their 2 children, 14-year-old Emma and 5-year-old Ryder. Also on board were the pilots, Dennis and Jack Dutton, and a friend, former NASCAR hauler driver Craig Wadsworth. And this is the part that just guts you where they were going. They were in the middle of their annual 12 Days of Biffmas, this wonderful charitable effort they did to give back to fans during the holidays. It's a detail that just speaks volumes about their generosity, right up to the very end. But a tragedy like this, as awful as it is, it can't be allowed to overshadow a life that was lived so well. So let's shift gears now. Let's remember the incredible champion Greg Biffle was both on and off the racetrack. 19 times Greg Biffle stood in victory lane at NASCAR's highest level. Every single one of those wins was just a testament to his raw skill, his incredible determination, and that fierce competitive spirit he had. And his talent wasn't just limited to one series. Not at all. Biffle is part of a very small, very elite group of drivers to win championships in both the Truck Series and the Xfinity Series. It proved he could master pretty much any machine he got behind the wheel of. So it was no surprise to anyone who followed the sport when, in 2023, he was officially recognized as one of the sport's all-time greats. And that honor wasn't just about the stats. It was about the profound impact he had on NASCAR as a whole. After he retired from full-time racing, did he slow down? Not a chance. He became a Hall of Famer, a broadcaster, and he really pursued his passion for flying. But maybe his most important role, the one that defined him most outside the car, was as a dedicated humanitarian. And this story tells you everything you need to know about the man. After Hurricane Helene devastated parts of North Carolina, Biffle didn't just write a check. He personally got into his own helicopter and flew rescue missions, helping people who were stranded by floodwaters. I mean, that's just the kind of person he was. Now, with a tragedy of this magnitude, there are always going to be questions. So we have to turn to the investigation and the search for answers. 2 main federal agencies are now leading the investigation. You've got the NTSB, the National Transportation Safety Board, which handles the accident investigation itself, and the FAA, the Federal Aviation Administration, which oversees all the safety regulations. They're going to work together to piece this all together. And of course, this is the one question on literally everyone's mind. What could have possibly gone so wrong so quickly after takeoff? The hard truth is, as of right now, we simply don't have an official answer. Investigations like these are incredibly meticulous. They can take months, sometimes even years. And it's so important to avoid speculation and just wait for the official findings from the experts. So finally, let's look at the response from the racing world, because it really is a tight-knit community, a family. And right now, that whole family is grappling with this immense collective grief. NASCAR's official statement really captures the feeling of the entire community. It says, Greg was not only a champion driver, he was a cherished member of the NASCAR family, a fierce competitor, and a friend to many. His enthusiasm left a profound mark on the sport. Greg Biffle was a champion, a hero, a husband, and a father. As the community mourns this just unthinkable loss, it leaves us all with one final important question. How do you best remember a legacy that was defined just as much by kindness and charity as it was by checkered flags?